Hello everybody and welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm. Today is harvest day. We're going to begin the harvest. Well, actually I say today's harvest day. What I really mean is this episode is the harvesting episode. This day itself is definitely not the day we harvest in, because the field isn't actually ready just yet. Now what I've been doing before I started this episode is I've been topping up all these greenhouses with manure so that they can stay productive while we're doing the harvesting. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing this as we've just done it in the previous episode. Well, we've actually moved on 2 full days since the previous episode, and obviously during that time it is consuming quite a bit of manure and water. Now the water is actually alright, that is not a problem at all, but yeah, the manure, that's gone down very quickly. I've also given the sheep and the cows some water off screen, so that is all sorted. There's only one more thing we need to do before we can progress another day to end up at harvest day, and that is to give the cows and the sheep some hay bales. Very important that we do that, otherwise they're going to, well, they're not going to die. Or are they going to die? Yes, they will die. They're going to die, to put it simply. Not a very nice thought, but that is exactly what will happen if I don't do anything. So let me just put this away and then we'll jump into the skid steer and we'll bring some bales across. At least I think it'll be the skid steer. We may use the Fendt tractor, as we should be able to pick up more bales. Yeah, we'll use the Fendt. The skid steer is good, but not for transporting many bales over a long distance, because it can only really do one at a time. You can do 2, but they do tend to fall off. That is with the base game bale spike, that is. If we weren't using the base game bale spike, then you can actually probably get 3 on if you really wanted to push it. I think it would be difficult. Okay, it's actually detecting the rear weight, there we go. So I think our bale spike is actually still down in the main yard, just for some reason in the middle of the yard, just on the ground. So it's probably a good thing that we're moving it. Yes, there it is. Not very neat and tidy. Try and sort this out. Okay, so what we could do is actually load them onto the trailer, but I think as we're not going too far with this, we might as well just transport them on the bale spike. Because obviously, yeah, as you know, the sheep are very close to here. So we'll do it from in cab view. Yeah. Once again, we'll put the steering wheel down towards us. It will make life much easier and much comfier, rather than trying to lean right over into the middle of the windscreen to steer the tractor. So this could be tricky, as we've got such a mess of a stack over here. Now these 2 here look quite good. Yeah, that would do. We probably could get 3, but I'm going to do 2, just because I don't want to lose any, basically. I really don't want to go dropping them everywhere. Like that. Good grief, I was actually carrying 4. Weird. That would have been really good. If I had actually done that with 4, it would have really speeded things up. But yeah, as I said, I didn't want to drop anything, but it turns out I've done it without even realising. Without realising I even had 4. So these 2 first, we'll go back for the other 2. There for the sheep. There you go, sheep. Hopefully that's good. Yep, perfect. And yep, hay or grass for the cows. And actually, we'll give them some silage as well. We might as well, otherwise it's just going to be a category which will be empty, and they'll be losing productivity for absolutely no reason, as we do have silage. I'm all for keeping them very healthy now. Well, that looks precarious. Let's see if we can get to the cows without dropping anything. Slow and steady, and we might be able to make it. Hopefully we can do. I'm trying to rush this job really, because I want to get it done. We've got so much harvesting to do, but if we don't do this, then it's really counterproductive. We'll be losing so much potential money, and we'll be losing animals, which is just not good. Animal cruelty and all that, so we must do it properly. Which is laughable, because I never do it properly, but today is, well, this series is actually the day. But yeah, today is a good opportunity to continue doing it properly. Okay, so here we are. There you go, happy cows. Has that actually fulfilled it? It has, wow. Well, we'll put it there. And they should be able to take it when they're ready. Close that door, it shouldn't even be open. And we'll very quickly go over to the JCB and get a full bucket load of silage. And it is actually exactly one full bucket load. However, we do still have a tiny bit left, so it might not take the entire bucket load, but if it was empty, then it would be the full bucket load. So we'll put this here. There we go. And we'll get the JCB again. I didn't think I'd be using this again today, but it turns out it's a very useful tool. We really couldn't do without it. It's so nice to have a telehandler. And especially an affordable telehandler as well. Now, back in the previous episode, I did actually say that the greenhouses were bringing in about £5,000 of income per day, which in itself sounds pretty good. But it really has shot up. They're bringing in about 12,000 per day currently, so it's really worth doing. Come on. There we go. It's a good load. Nice and heavy for the JCB. Let's go and put it in the trough. It's seriously heavy. So I'm assuming it's the same place. We have done it before. But this should bring all of those categories to totally green, totally filled. We'll put it here if we can do. And there we go. Fantastic. Wow, I did think it was a full bucket. That's peculiar. They seem to take more. Oh, I suppose we have gained a cow. Maybe it's just a very hungry cow. Not sure, but we'll get another load. I'd say a full load. Looking at the progress we made with the first bucket. Oh, a cow has come to discover the goodness we have given to it. And that should do nicely. Yep, totally full. Right, so as usual, we're going to go and put this away, we're going to go to bed, and hopefully the next day is going to be the day when the crop is ready to harvest. I did actually expect it to be ready before now, but it doesn't really matter too much because we've got all of autumn, so that is plenty of time. It looks like the sheep are also still producing their wool, which is really good for us because we get loads of money for it, especially if it's great demand, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Even if the price is bad, or so-called bad, it's still really good. So yes, let's go and rest. We'll go over to the house and we will go and have a quick nap in the living room. Well, it has to be the living room. It's the only room we're allowed in. I don't know who gets access to the rest of the house, but they're very lucky people. Okay, here we are. Good night. And good morning. And, oh crikey, the rain is due for the first time pretty much. So just over £1,500 for the milk, £16,000 from the greenhouses. Whew, it's getting better by the day. It's incredible. I didn't realise that doing the greenhouses was so worth it, to be honest. This is why in the past I've never really taken them that seriously. But looking at the money we're making here, I really can't see why we would never do this again. It would be worth doing on every single series, because it's just this massive amount of money in the background. Selling our produce. It's like another farm all to itself. We've got the main farm, and then the greenhouses. It's like separate. But it's still making tons of money. So, is the crop ready? That's the big question. My guess is it will be, but I've been known to be wrong before. And again, yes, I have been known to be wrong yet again. Okay, good. So, what we're going to have to do is probably top up the greenhouses with water, possibly do a power food mix, and then it will definitely be harvest time because it will be autumn. So everything will swap over, and yeah, it will guarantee the crop will be ripe. Although actually, looking at the calendar date, it looks like there is still another day in summer. But really, it's been on the final growth stage for 3 days. So it can't hang on for too much longer, surely. It's pretty much there, I'd say. Unlike this, I can't fit it on for some reason. Maybe I'm just too far away. Probably. You have to be in a very particular place if you've got the rear weight on. So that explains it. 23,650 litres. We're going to do this off screen, as I know that we've just done all this, so it's just really like repeating the previous episode. So see you when all these greenhouses have been topped up with the water they deserve. And there we go, the final greenhouse. And it really isn't a day for harvesting anyway, so in a way it is no bad thing that the crops aren't ready yet. So we'll keep this here. We're going to be using the water again anyway, and it's just an afternoon to sleep through, to be honest. You can see the crop is actually showing as ripe, but as we know, you actually have to make sure the status is ripe as well. So that is a good sign, actually, that it looks like that, because it means that tomorrow meaning in a few minutes time, it will almost certainly be ready to get the combine into there. And look, the sun is shining to dry off the crop over the rest of the day, and then it should be nice and dry for tomorrow morning. £16,800 from the greenhouses. It gets better all the time. And £1,700 for the milk. Amazing. So you're not going to believe this, but the crops are not ready. I know, it's hard to believe, but like I say, it isn't actually the 1st of autumn. Almost at August then. Yeah, almost the 1st of autumn. But because it is still summer, it means that the crops are not quite ready. Now this is actually within the calendar of harvest season, but I'm assuming it's due to when I actually put the crops in that's making the difference. Not 100% sure, but that is just my theory, because you can see they're all still green on here. But I'm still going to take the combine over and we'll try it. You never know, it might work. So we'll just go and find out for sure. I don't think there's anything else we need to take with us except for the combine and ourselves. Yes, that would be very inconvenient if you did forget yourself. It's going to be a steady journey over there though, and the crops might be ready by the time we get there. We're doing 14 miles per hour, but that is actually faster than the JCB telehandler, because that can do 12. So if we had a race, the combine harvester would win. Okay, so it's quite tight around here, but we've made it. There is other traffic as well. Traffic is definitely switched on, but it does seem fairly quiet. So I don't know where they all are. They're probably having a party. Well, it certainly looks ready. The canola just over there. All we can do is try it, but I'm not really holding out too much hope because I have done this before, and I've always found that it has to actually be showing it's ready to harvest to be able to harvest it, which makes perfect sense. Oh, Roper is on sale. Well, as tempting as the offer is, I don't think we need any Roper stuff. No Roper equipment is required in this Let's Play. At least, as far as I'm aware. You never know, we might need to buy something later, but it's unlikely, I would have thought. So the good thing is, this field's actually got a really large piece of grass just over here, so we can actually put the header on with ease without driving into the field or anything, which makes a change, because usually I have to drive right into the crop, which doesn't really look the best. Disconnect that there. We'll spin around. Did I just see a car? Yes. And we will fit this on. Another car. The party must be over. Okay, so whatever you do, don't hold your breath. Especially if I don't put the PTO on. Nope. Okay, that was predictable. We'll sort this mess out. It's an early start, but we're ready to go. So we're off. Okay, I think the combine's all set up as good as it can be. So yeah, this really is the start of the massive harvesting session, which actually, as it turns out, we're only going to start today, but I'm hoping to finish it all within the next episode or two, because we can't really drag it on for too long. My intention is to take the headlands off, so we go around 3 or 4 times, then put it on a worker, because we need to cart as well. The good thing is we actually do have a very large capacity trailer at 30,000 litres, and I'm also going to try and do all of the same crops together. So we do all the canola, then all the barley, all the wheat, if we have enough of each crop. I will confirm in a minute or two where all of the canola fields are, but I think it is just this one and possibly 64, if that's the right number. 65, definitely not 64. Well, I was never going to guess the right one, was I? Okay, well that is the headlands off, and it should do a really good job hopefully. Now you're probably wondering why it's going to be on a worker for a large part of the harvesting, and that is because we're going to have to do other jobs as well. Already the greenhouses are requiring more manure and more water, and the cows and the sheep, they'll also require many different things as well. As you can see, it's already looking pretty poor. So in the next episode we'll be doing a few things off screen. I'll also be doing some work, probably the power food actually, on screen, and the harvesting will be going on in the background too, so there's plenty to be getting on with. I just can't really just do the harvesting because we have other duties as well. Now as I mentioned, we need to confirm exactly which fields have canola in. So we're looking for the green, which will probably make it easier if we switch off all the others. Number 2, number 65, number 25. So yeah, I think that's all. The 3 which we own have got canola in. So yeah, we'll do all 3. I know it's going to be a bit of moving around, but that is just all part of it. Luckily, for number 6 is not a cereal crop, that's our neighbouring field. It is actually maize or corn, so we will be finishing with this anyway, so it doesn't matter about going all the way back over there to leave this one field. So there we go, all looking very good. I know it's been a long time coming, this harvest, but it's here now, and it's going to be worth it hopefully. How much do we have in the trailer? Currently 4,000 litres. Well, that's alright. Okay then, so thank you so much for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.